occur 5 years later. That bush that was hit by the bushfire 5 years ago and decimated it, the bushfire has now rebound and is healthier, more diverse, and better than the environment which was never hit by the bushfire. So there's a lot about species and evolution and so forth that humans really don't have a clue about, but we're learning. So evolution will continue. Fish evolved to eat snails. Snail shells create territories for new fish to evolve. New fish evolve to eat shell dwellers. So there can be snails there. Fish evolve to eat those snails. Then those snails that get eaten could then create territory for whole new species of fish to live within those shells. Then those shells that harbour those fish might allow the evolution of a whole new fish to come along and eat the fish that eats the fish inside the shell. And a whole new fish may evolve to feed on the fish that eats the fish that goes inside the shell. So exactly the same as with the sand. Shells can create new opportunities, and those new opportunities can create whole new species and a whole flow-on or chain effect, knock-on effect from that new environment which has been created. So whether it be a sand bed potentially created by a humphead wrasse, or whether it be empty shells due to a fish that's evolved to eat snails. Changing water levels expose new territories to allow the separation and evolution of new species. So as lakes and rivers and the ocean even goes up and down, various environments are exposed or not exposed, which creates physical barriers for various fish. So some fish live in sediment-free habitats, some live in intermediate habitats, which is rock and sand. Some live in sediment-rich habitats. Some live in sandy habitats. Some live in planted habitats. Some live in rapids. Some live in lakes, rivers, tidal areas, and seasonal areas, which might be wet in one season and dry in the other season, for example. So as the environment expands and it contracts, it will change the layout or the distribution of fish that have contact to each other. So therefore, more opportunities for fish to evolve. So new feeding techniques allows fish to evolve new species. So some fish will evolve to eat scales or fins of other species of fish. Some fish will evolve to feed on algae on the top of the rock. A different species might evolve to feed on algae on the side of the rock, and another species may evolve to eat algae on the bottom of the rock, for example. Other fish evolve to feed up underneath caves on the top of the cave. Other fish evolve to feed on plankton and so forth that may be in the cave. And evolution is constant. Each fish is perfect. It evolves to occupy a niche perfectly to allow it to survive, feed and breed. The key to breeding is to understand how it uses its niche. So basically, when you look at a fish, the fact that it's here now, the fact that it is a snapshot of evolution, means that it is basically perfectly evolved for the circumstances that it's in. Now, if you want to breed fish yourself, I believe your aim is to understand the fish. What does it feed on in the wild? What is its territorial niche? What is its nutritional niche? When you understand the fish more completely, you will find your chance of breeding it so much better and more interesting. The presence of disease can allow the creation of new species. So there have been times when an ecosystem may have appeared to be evolutionarily stagnant. Things like disease can also have a huge effect by creating opportunities for new species to evolve in the presence of that opportunity, which may be the absence of particular species that may have even got wiped out. So humans breed cows. This is just another example of evolution. Cows create CO2. CO2 adds to global warming. Global warming is a responsible factor for moving the reef. So the relationship of cows on the land may have a significant impact on the coral reefs, because as the environment gets warmer and as more high nutrient runoff runs off the river, then the reefs will move away from the mouths of the rivers, and the reef in general will want to move away from the warmer temperature. So some species of coral will evolve to like the high sediment from the rivers and the high nutrient from the rivers. Other corals will literally move away. So the coral reef, as with any ecosystem, never stays the same. It always changes. The new reefs create habitats for new species. So as the Great Barrier Reef, for example, is moving south, then it will create new opportunities for whole new species of fish to evolve and new species of corals to evolve. And the dead old reefs create new opportunities too. So as the live corals may die in the north of a reef, that will create potential opportunity for evolution in the north. As the corals move south, it will also create potential opportunities for evolution in the south. New species are coming. Just as we lose species, we also gain them over periods of time. Now, a lot of people say the Great Barrier Reef is dying. It is not my opinion that it's dying. It is my opinion that it is moving. And moving will involve expanding and contracting. So geographical isolation, so natural habitat change, physical introduction. So when a species of fish changes, it could change because the habitat changes. It can also change because fish have been introduced, which may